G'day guys, and welcome to Friends of Oris. This week something a bit special, a bit different. Down in Melbourne, here in Australia, with our Friends of Oris maintenance man, our watchmaker, Michael Presser. G'day Michael, welcome to Friends of Oris video review.
Good to be here.
Mate, just want to have a little chat about Oris, about watchmaking and all that sort of stuff. Mate, what got you into watches and watchmaking?
I actually got into watchmaking completely by accident, Smitty.
Yep.
I wanted to be a manufacturing jeweller, but got offered an apprenticeship in watchmaking and realised I was more interested in engineering than the artistic side of jewelleries. And 23 years later, here I am.
Trained here in Australia, you trained over in Switzerland as well?
I did an apprenticeship in a small family-run jewellery store where we fixed watches, clocks, sunglasses, cameras, anything that came in.
Yep.
And finished that and won a scholarship to study in Switzerland and did my masters over there.
Excellent, excellent. And so you're based here in Melbourne. We send all our watches down here to you to pass their CPP test, their calibration, pressure and power reserve test. What other features, we'll get onto that in a second about what's involved in that process. What are some of the other features you look for in a good watch? What's important in a good mechanical watch?
For me, I'm always interested in the technical side.
Yep.
The aesthetics are probably more interested to other people, but I always want to look on that it's a good quality mechanism, that it's well built, made out of good quality materials, made by a reputable company. Yep. And all the Oris watches are backed by ETA Movements, which are leaders in the industry. Yep. They produce movements for about 70% of the watch industry, and their movements are high quality.
And we were just discussing before that you see and feel that Oris have really stepped up their quality of materials and their movements and of late.
Oris, we've been looking after Oris for a number of years now. In the last couple of years, I've really seen a big change with Oris. The quality is improving. The quality of materials that they're selecting is much higher. It's very important to have quality materials, particularly in terms of temperature changes. If the materials aren't high quality, you can have a watch that will keep one rate in a hot day and a different rate on a cold day. And Oris have made a lot of advances in this area in the last couple of years. And
you've found that that's being reflected in the tolerances in the CPP test and all that.
Yep. The tolerances over the last couple of years have just been getting tighter and tighter, which is good to see.
Yeah, because I know you're wearing a Mega at the moment. You're not wearing.
Well, I'm wearing a Mega because it's a Monday. But,
it's a Monday. All right. That's how you know the day of the week.
I wear a Chronoris and I wear a TT1 chronograph.
All right.
With the rubber bezel. I don't know whether that's still in the range.
TT1 chronograph with a rubber bezel. No, there's no rubber bezel.
That's a great watch.
No. But how often should you be getting your watch serviced?
The factory recommend that the watch be serviced about every 3 to 4 years. Yep. In practice, it's more like every 4 to 5. Now, when a watch is serviced, it's completely dismantled, all the parts cleaned and inspected, reassembled, lubricated and adjusted. A critical factor with mechanical watches is that the lubrication will essentially evaporate over about 4.5 to 5 years. Right. It'll evaporate whether the watch is used or whether it's not. So a watch needs servicing about every 5 years, regardless of its use.
So talking about the seals, if your watch is outside your warranty period for Oris, who should they take it to? Who's a reputable company they should take it to?
In the United States, you should take your watch to a watchmaker who's a member of the American Watchmaker and Clockmakers Institute. Right. They're a very strong organisation in the United States and have a stringent test criteria for all of their technicians.
Yep. Talking about our CPP process, what's the advantages of having the CPP test done on your watch?
The CPP process is a 3-day test where we look at the timing of the watch, the running reserve, which is testing the automatic winding capabilities of the watch, and critically the water resistance.
Excellent. Checking the calibration, so that's the plus and minus seconds per day aspect of the watch.
Correct. A watch that goes through the CPP process won't leave this workshop unless it's within the tolerance of -2 seconds and +8 seconds per day.
Right.
And also the watch must have a running reserve of over 40 hours after being fully wound. And Oris watches have various levels of water resistance, but generally speaking, they're over 50 metres water resistance.
But you test them for each one of their specified depths.
Correct.
So one of the major components is the calibration tester, which you're just going to show us briefly what it does here.
The calibration is, to my mind, one of the more critical tests that's done on all the Oris watches coming through the workshop. It's important to understand when looking at the accuracy of an Oris watch. A critical factor that affects the rate of your watch is the position that the watch is in. For example, the watch that we've got on test in front of us is gaining 2.6 seconds per day in a dial-up position. If I were to move the watch so that it's in a standard position when you're walking around, which is in this position with the crown facing the ground, you'll get a slightly different rate of performance of the watch. This watch is running slightly slower in this position. It gains 1.5 seconds per day. If we were to put it into a position where a left-handed person were to wear the watch in a crown up position, the watch is actually losing a little over 1.5 seconds per day. So these factors, they all have to be averaged out so that you get a clearer picture of what performance the watch is actually achieving.
So you run this test in all those various positions over a 3-day period?
That's right. And then we put a weighting of the different positions because the watch is in different positions for different durations during the day. So some positions are more important than others. But from that, we get an average rate, and that's the critical data to understand the performance of your watch.
Thank you, Michael, for your time and expertise in showing us some of your equipment here in your office. I look forward to seeing you guys all on the web next week. Till then, see you later. That sound's on. That sounds on.
Perfect. That was bound to happen. Monday's normally flat out. Very strong organisation, the American, and I've forgotten the name.
Okay, we can just. And you get to play with great machines as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's half the fun.